One of perhaps the biggest coping mechanisms used in relationships is that of the accusation card. Most people are quick to accuse the other person as being the reason for the downfall in the relationship. How many times have you heard men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and I can't understand the other person, they don't understand me? But most of the times, and I've said this before in other videos, we spend a lot of time trying to get the other person to understand us instead of trying to understand them. When people come to me, especially couples, one of the things I do is try to understand the different personality types. Relationships involve two people, regardless of who the two people are. And relationships are intersected with that interaction of the totally different personalities. Do you know the person that is sleeping next to you? Do you think you can really truly know that person in 1 year, 2 years, 7 years, 20 years? It's going to take a lifetime for you to get to know the person that you married, or the person that you're thinking about marrying, or the person you're living with. Relationships take time to develop. Relationships take I was about to say something else, but I'm going to say this. Relationships take you taking an active interest in getting to know the other person. That does not mean just knowing the person when they're at their best, but it also means getting to know the person when they're not behaving so well. You know what I mean? But most people have this idealistic view of a relationship, that everything is going to be okay all the time, and that the person you marry is going to remain the person that you stay married to 50 years, 60 years down the road. No, you're going to change. Not only are you going to change, you're going to grow together, and sometimes you may grow apart. But what makes a relationship interesting and intricate is the fact that even though you may grow apart, you can grow back together. But when people start growing apart, that's when, oh, holy hell, everything hits the fan and they want to leave, and they use the D word as a means of threatening or trying to control the relationship. Stop it. Stop using the word divorce to control the other person. It's not cool. It's not cute. And guess what? Eventually, somebody will always file for divorce. Yes, relationships are work, but they're not just work for one person. The number one thing I hear about people coming to me for counseling is, you know what, I don't need the counseling. He does or she does. I don't need to be the one sitting in front of a therapist. I don't need to be the one talking to a marriage counselor. That person has the issues, and if we can fix them, we can fix the relationship. Humbug, bah humbug. That's not true. Did one person decide to get married to the other person, or was it a joint decision? Relationships involve two people. So if the same way you got together because you loved each other, and you were seeing the roses and everything was blissful, sometimes it's not true, but most of the time, hopefully, it's blissful. The same way you two made a decision to come together and took those marriage vows is the same way that you have to work on the relationship together. Most people think that one person is the only person that needs to fix something. It takes two, and both of you need to engage, and both of you need to come together to help the other person, if it's one person or not. And chances are, a lot of times, it's not just one person. Chances are, a lot of times, that is because the other person does not know how to deal with that person's pain or that person's behavior, that they lose control instead of trying to gain control, where they're trying to understand the other person. Let's face it, we're human beings. And most human beings do not have the patience or the tolerance to deal with somebody else's foolishness or BS, right? We would rather not have to deal with it. We would rather if everything were just going along smoothly. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that relationships are supposed to just flow like this? There's not supposed to be any upheaval, no turmoil and stuff like that? You're absolutely right. Relationships don't have to have that turmoil. They don't have to have the upheaval. They can be full of understanding, effective communication, which is not one sided, it takes two. It can be great active listening skills, great times together, great everything together. But because we are not equipped as human beings to practice patience and active listening, and put aside our need for control or our need to be understood, then we fall into this whole area where the relationship spirals out of control. I cannot reinforce this enough. This video is all about the fact that it takes two. Stop saying she's the problem. Stop saying he's the problem, even if he or she is. The problem can only be fixed if both of you decide to come together to address it. One person cannot repair a relationship that is breaking or a relationship that is broken. It takes two. Two of you came together, and it's going to take two. What's that song say? It takes two to make a thing all right. That's true. It takes you both to come together and agree that there's an issue, and maybe you guys cannot find the source, but you reach out for help, or you try to find a way to fix the problem. Stop using the excuse that it's the other person's problem. Look within. And even if you are not the problem, love that person enough to love them through and help them by providing them with the understanding that you will be with them to work through the issue together. That's all I have to say. My name is Ingrid Felton. Thank you as always for visiting. Please continue to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please tell others about what I'm doing here. Continue to like the videos, subscribe to the videos, and also visit my website, www.barbellos.com. Bye.